It'll come that way. So.
Hey, listen, good people. Listen, listen, listen. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what we do. We bring it to you. It's Wind Down Wednesdays. We coming to you live and in living color. You know, we had to give y'all a little bit of time to realize that it was 6 o'clock. Just a little bit of time to realize it was 6 o'clock. But you
we
know,
want to stay in
it's been
demand. You know,
raining.
we want to stay in demand. You know, getting our connections and stuff together.
Exactly. It's raining. You know, we had to rush in and getting off work, trying to beat the traffic, trying to get home safely and log on so we can talk to you all. Because y'all know what we do. It's Wind Down Wednesday. You know who I am. And y'all know who my sister is on the other
That's
side.
right. Let's get into it. Y'all know who we is. Y'all know what we do. We do this every Wednesday, every hump day, same time, 6 p.m. We may run a little behind because we're working on technical difficulties. We want it to be smooth sailing. So when we get into talking about it, we into talking about it, okay?
We into talking about it. And we going to talk about it. So in the meantime, in between time, how's your week, sis? What's going on? I ain't seen y'all in a minute. What's up?
I know. Still kicking it, you know, same old, different day. Just hanging out, enjoying this warm weather. It's been stupid warm, not complaining, loving it. So yeah, another day is a second chance.
Hey, you better ask somebody. You better say that and you better make it plain, make it clear. Because another day, you know, we want to say thank you, God, for another day, All you out there, lift your hands and just tell the Lord thank you for another day.
Thank you, Jesus. Yes,
yes,
thank you,
that's
Lord.
what we do. We make sure we give thanks at all times because that's what it said.
For sure.
Give thanks.
How your week been?
Baby, let me tell you something. Let me tell you. It's been great. It's been good. I have been doing pretty much what I want to do, how I want to do it, trying to enjoy life to the fullest as much as I can. But you know, it's a good thing. I'm just, you know, I'm enjoying this moment. I'm enjoying the peace of mind, the quietness, the happiness that's coming to me, you know, the happiness being brought to me. So I mean, I can't, you know, my family is good, you know, God is good, it's all good. Right now, life is good. I don't let too many things bother me. For what? That's called stress.
Right. If you can't control it, what? Let it go.
L-I-G, let it go, you know, let it go. But you know, since we're here, let's get down to the nitty gritty. I'm glad that you had a wonderful week. The thing, I just left Chicago. I had to go to Chicago for the weekend.
Woo-woo.
I went over there. I wished I would have went over there to have a nice time, but I went over there because my brother's daughter, unfortunately, was shot and killed, and I had to go for a funeral on this past weekend. So thank you very much. So the good thing about it was that I got to see my family. You know, I got to see my people. Got to hang out with them for a few hours. The weather was horrible.
What? Really?
Yes. I think it was a storm over there, a tornado, or some high winds, or whatever you want to call it. It was horrible. But the thing, you know, it was good. I saw them. We had a great time. We got to, you know, chat it up. We got to talk. We got to laugh, you know. Of course, you know, I try not to cry because, you know, it's all the tears are still being shedded. But, you know, God is still good. You know, it was a senseless act of violence once again.
Right.
But, you know, it's you know, they're doing the best that they can. They're hanging in there. So am I. So, you know, it's, you know, God is good. God is good. You know, like I said, whatever. What's up, Carolyn? Thank you very much. Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you. So it's just, you know, it's tough. It's hard. But, you know, we just got to keep moving and keep going because, you know, you can't stop because something happened. The good thing about it is I believe that they're going to apprehend the individuals that did it. You know, the thing about it is, you know, you can't go anywhere and mind your own business and do what you are trying to do without somebody wanting to take your life or harm you for doing whatever it is that's innocent, you know, and then you're, you know, all of a sudden they want to take your life. So, hey, what up, Robert? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, this is my Chicago peeps. You know, I had to go over there. So other than that, it was, it's good, still good. It's a
Right.
good thing. I got to see them. I got to see my dad and all that stuff. So it was good. My sisters and brother. And so it was all good. My nieces and all that, nephews. So it was really a great trip, but just under the circumstances, it was
Right.
sad. So,
Right.
but it's all good. It's all good. Life continues to move forward, hopefully in a good way for all of
That's
us,
right. That's right.
So anyway, let's move right along and get down to the nitty gritty of the conversation. Let's talk about it. But first of all, let's recognize the fact that June was Pride Month. To all of you out there that chose to do what you chose to do and the lifestyle that you chose to live, kudos to you. Peace, deuces, thumbs up to Pride Month. I missed the event downtown. Oh my God, because I love going downtown for Pride Month when they have all the festivities going
Sight
on.
to see. It's a lot to see.
It is. I love going down there, but I missed it this year, so it's okay. Hopefully, I can catch up. So kudos to the Pride Month and to all my friends. We love you here at Tuck Radio. So anyway,
right.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Got a question for you good people out there.
That's right. Tune in, chime in. You can call in. We want to hear your voices. Type it in. Call us.
Type it in.
Let's talk about it. Opinions matter. Your opinions matter.
Let's talk about it, good people. What's up, Nathan
Hi,
Ivy?
Nathan.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening.
Yes.
We appreciate it. That's my brother right there. I love him. I love his show. If y'all ain't doing nothing during the day, check him out. Listen to what he has to say. He brings a lot of good information when you have time. You can put the bud in your ear, log into Facebook, log on the website and check out my man Nathan Ivy, because I'm telling you, you're gonna get some information that you probably didn't even know about. And let's say this: kudos to Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby, in case y'all didn't know, Bill Cosby got released. If he's not released, he will be released.
Thank goodness, because he shouldn't have been in there to begin with.
Well, now, you and I know there are some people that's going to disagree with that.
And that's all right.
They're going to disagree with the fact. So we have a couple of things that we're going to talk about today. The first one is Bill Cosby. How do you feel about Bill Cosby being let out of federal prison? Because, he was in a place, I'm sure, where he had a good life. I'm sure he had a good life. It wasn't all messed up, and he didn't have to, eat out of a styrofoam plate, anything like that. So I'm sure he had a good life while he was in there. So do you think it's okay that he's let out? I don't know the stipulations or what the guidelines are. Did they just drop all the charges?
To my knowledge, I believe that's what it is. I personally felt like it shouldn't have been no charges to begin with, because at that time everybody was doing the Quaaludes, everybody was participating in it, and secondly, the women that wanted to complain, they went back for a second time, a third time, a fourth time. So at that point, in my opinion, you're not a victim. You're choosing. This is what you're choosing, and so it just was foolishness. I just feel like it was because he wanted to buy the network that they was gonna make an example out of this black man, and that's exactly what they did. It was really nonsense and uncalled for, in my opinion.
And my thing is, I'm agree with you to this point, that back then, and I even say it now, because it continues to happen now, and it continues to happen with those with money. You got to know when you are being bamboozled, or when somebody's trying to get over or do things to you that they shouldn't be doing. Who comes to somebody's place 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and you're gonna watch a movie, you're gonna sit up, you're gonna have conversation.
This ain't Netflix and chill. You already know what the deal is. You know what you're signing up for. That's my thing. Like, you grown, he grown. At that time, everybody was doing it, so it's like, come on now.
So my thing is, should he have been let out? Is he let out? Should he been on probation? Should he still be on the box? Should he have to answer to anybody? Because at the end of the day, it really cost him whatever little life he has left, and he could live a long time. We don't know. We're not the ones to make that decision. But he could live a prosperous life continuously. But it kind of it messed up his reputation. It took off. The Cosby Show was off. Anything that he was involved in, they took all those things off of TV. So he kind of lost out. He got a divorce from his wife because I do believe that Camille left him or she divorced him, and they could have been already in the process of a divorce. But it caused him a lot of damage. It caused him a lot of heartaches. But at the end of the day, those women knew what they were going to the hotel for. They knew what they were looking for. They knew what they were expecting. And like you said, back in the day, to drop a pill, a happy pill or whatever you want to call it, in a drink, for you to feel woo, 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 they knew what they were headed for. You know, yes, Carolyn.
Yes, they will talk about it, Carolyn.
Digger.
Yes. They dropped it. They knew about the Quaaludes. They was trying to get rich. They was trying to get famous. So here's my thing. You put Bill Cosby in jail, but Hugh Hefner, with all of the women that was at the Playboy Mansion, and not all of them were of over 21 at that time. People were taking women there, girls there voluntarily. Where was his jail sentence? Nothing was taken from him. He did it his whole life, and he died. He was looked at as upstanding, and he was with several women that were under the age of 21.
But not only him,
under the age of 18. So I mean, really.
Yep. Yes, Carolyn. Yes. 20 years later, you remember that call.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. How am I getting charged for something that happened eons ago? Your memory's that clear. Come on now. It's people that are eyewitnesses that forget information. And you can attest to this in the field that you're in. It's somebody that can see something. You could show somebody a picture and ask them what was in the picture, and they can't remember.
So cannot remember.
So you got all these detailed stories from 20 years ago. Give me a break.
And then my thing too is like you go back to the Hugh Hefner thing, but not only he had a mansion with Playboy bunnies, that they posted some of those women in magazines then they were underage, but they never did anything to him. But then you have all these other rich people that were going into the mansion being, taking the drugs, drinking and having sex, smoking weed, doing whatever.
Yeah.
But they used Bill Cosby as a scapegoat. You're absolutely correct.
We're gonna make an example out of this black man.
Of a black man. That is the whole thing. They made an example out of a black man, not just any man, because they could have, and then it could have been anybody, anybody else, because you and I know, we all know that there are other individuals back then that were famous, that made money, that had money, that when women came knocking on their doors after their shows, after all of everything was, and everybody was gone and everything was over, knocking on the door, you knew what you was coming for.
Yep.
What you coming to watch? Fred Sanford and Sons, Andy Griffin. You ain't coming in there to watch that. Mannix. You're not coming in there to watch that. You're intentionally coming for the Mandingo.
Okay.
Let's
for the
just
package.
keep it on.
You're coming for the package, okay?
Yes,
and that's crazy. They used him as an example because I don't know. I can't remember. I think it was NBC he was trying to buy, and they was like, "Oh no, we're gonna shut this all the way down."
And that's what they did.
Yep.
Now, did he lose money? He lost millions.
Definitely. But the biggest thing he lost was his character and his reputation.
Correct. Because let's think about it. Even watching the Cosby Show, you thought that he was, everybody wanted a dad like Bill Cosby. Yeah. Everybody wanted the Bill Cosby daddy. Opportunists know exactly what they're walking into. They do know what they're walking into.
Yes, ma'am. You better say that.
And I don't mean this, I don't try to sound like, I'm harsh or mean or have a thing against the white people or white women or whatever. But my whole thing is this. Why is it that it's always our brothers that get caught up with the white women, you know, with these false allegations or something that come up real, you know, that's true. But why is it that when a sister walk in that room at 3 o'clock in the morning, that she ain't gonna report nothing or say nothing or do nothing, because she know what she going in there for. She know what she going in there for. So what's the difference between her and the white lady? What's the difference?
A whole lot. They thought it was gonna make their career.
Yep, that's what they thought. You know, people think they're gonna sing, or they're gonna become an actress, or you're gonna put me on the Bill Cosby show, you know, or you gonna help me get over here on this show, or you gonna, you know, I'm gonna be in a commercial or something, you know. But the thing about it is, it's still happening today.
Oh, definitely, and at a more rapid rate.
And how many of them that are going to these rappers, to these well-known rappers, these well-known singers, and they're going to their where they make music. What you call that joint?
The studio.
Thank you very much.
It's a lot jumping off. It's a lot popping off in the studio.
We know what they're doing in the studio. You know what they're doing in that studio. Oh, come on in, baby. We're gonna help you. I need to hear what your voice. I need to hear what you got. You know what you about to go into, but I need you to meet me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Why so late? Why late?
You think you already know what's popping, okay?
You know. Carolyn says some of the women admitted they lied. Exactly. So if they admitted they lied, then why did they still lock him up? Why did they still take him through the ringer? Black model Bev Johnson, girl, you're right.
Because it didn't matter. Because it didn't matter. And you know what? You asked that question, but it's along the same lines of why is it that it took so long for there to be a conviction for George Floyd's death? We all seen it. We seen what happened that day. Why was he in prison? You know what I mean? Like, it's in the same category to me. Like, you seeing this happen,
yep,
right before your eyes, and oh, we got to look at it. We got to relook at it. We got to re-look at it. Like, I don't care how many times you look at it. It is what it is.
We don't just have to look at it. We got to hear what they got to say. And it's been 50 years ago that this took place. Oh, we believe it to be true. Because you said you went in there. If you can't remember some of the things, how can you remember all the things?
Exactly. And just like the book that was written by the lady who lied on Emmett Till, all these gazillion years later, this old white woman finally admits that she lied. But that boy, exactly. But his life has been taken. Like, it's done. Like, it's gone. And you just allowed a lie to continue. You lived in that lie for why? Because of the complexion for protection.
Girl, you better tell the people again what it's about.
The complexion for protection. That's why.
And like Carolyn said, they were gold diggers, and they were old, and you just said it too. They were old white women that had their lifespan had really played out. Yeah. Nobody no longer knew who they were.
No.
So they were trying to make another name for themselves.
Because they was bitter and they didn't get what they wanted, but they knew what they was signing up for. So you taking a gamble. Okay, I'm gonna sign up for this. This is what this person is saying. But that I don't get it in black and white. Bill Cosby ain't writing nothing down in black and white to say, hey, if you do this with me, then I'm gonna get you this contract. Right. I'm gonna get you on this movie. I'm gonna get you on this TV show. So therefore, you taking a chance. Exactly. You going off of my word, and my word might not necessarily be the truth.
And it's probably not my bond, but hey, come on over. Let's see.
Exactly. In appropriate times, and not one time, multiple times.
Yes, so, Karen.
I mean, exactly. And you ain't even get that.
Because 5 minutes of what? You got 5 minutes of fame. You got 5 minutes of destroying this man's whole career is what you did. His remaining life, you ruined it pretty much. I mean, you pretty much ruined it because he actually, yeah, he wanted to buy ABC. That's what he wanted to do. I mean, it's just like anybody trying to buy an NBA team,
Right.
they're gonna give them pushback. You're not gonna be able to buy it. They're gonna find out something going on or something's wrong. It's just like, Chauncey Billups, who's now been
Yep.
named Portland's head coach. So why you got to bring up something that he was not found guilty of? Anybody can make an accusation. Hold on.
Exactly.
Let me say that one more time. Anybody can make an accusation.
But it depends on what your complexion is.
Where's the proof? And were you found guilty of that proof? So anybody can make an accusation or an allegation. But where's the proof? Yep. And were you found guilty? They did the same thing to Chauncey Billups, who is now named the head coach of Portland Trail Blazers. You try to bring up some crap that somebody accused him of, but didn't happen. Get out of here. That's not who he is. That's not who he is. He has been, but because some woman said he
Terrible.
did this, he did that, you're gonna bring up something that he was not charged for, only to try to keep him from being the head coach of that team. Come on,
because you can't let somebody who don't look like you shine, and that's the problem. And my thing is, it's a mistake that happens more than one time. It's not a mistake; it's a choice.
It's a choice, and we all have choices. At the end of the day, when you're an adult, you have choices. You know better, you do better.
That's
when
it.
You do better, I mean, you know better. I mean, it's just that simple. So I don't get it and I don't understand, but kudos to Bill Cosby for being, I mean, it took him, I mean, how long to get him out, and for whatever reason they let him out. I mean, he's out.
Ridiculous. He done wasted so much time for nonsense, for nothing.
It's like,
this man has children, he has grandchildren, he probably has great grandchildren.
Yep.
Yeah, you smear his name and tarnish his name for what? And then it's all lies. So it was purposeless and it was pointless.
Yeah.
But it was to prove a point, because I didn't want this black man to own ABC, to run nothing, to have nothing.
Exactly. And knowing that he had the money, he had everything in place, and he was just trying to buy a major network. Now, they probably would have let him buy PBS or TNT or, some other little small affiliation, AMC. Yep. They would have probably let him buy one of those if he decided to buy one, but that's not what he wanted to do. He wanted to buy it so he can help more African Americans be seen,
that's
and
right.
heard of and thought about. But, they kept him from doing that. So thank God he was released. The court, whomever they were, the courts oversaw the sex conviction that he was convicted of by whatever means. And maybe they felt like they were pressured in it during the time that whoever the president was at the time, they felt pressured to convict him, of what they say he did, because we would never know.
So it's so sad. It's sad.
It's extremely sad. But I'm happy that he's out. I'm happy that he's free. I'm happy
live
he gets
your life.
He gets to breathe some fresh air. So kudos to Bill Cosby for being out of prison, and everything is overturned, and he gets to move forward with the remaining life that he has. Whatever he has left, whatever God sees fit for him to have. Thank God for that. Moving right along. So
it's
kudos
crazy
to Bill, but
thank God. It makes me think about OJ, which is so sad, because it was because of Rodney King that, things happened the way that they did. But it's sad that when he trying to get back his own items, they said that he was stealing. So they threw the book at him, and that was for him not being in jail previously. They felt like, you killed the white woman, you need to be in jail. So this little petty stuff, and they got him in prison now, stealing his own stuff back. Like, it's just insane.
Yep. And anytime, he's out too, and anytime he says anything, it's like, who are you to talk? Who are you to say anything about anybody when you did this and you did that? I mean, but you took the man through the ringer, you took him down, and there's nothing else that he can live for or do right now, because he can't go nowhere and get another job. He can't make much money. So it's like, how much do you do to continue to keep people down? You know, now let's look at R. Kelly. He probably won't ever get out.
And that's a whole nother ball game.
I was gonna
My
say,
thing is he don't need to get out. And my thing is because shut up.
hush up. Exactly.
R. Kelly don't never need to get out. And the reason being is not just because not because of Leah and all the other girls, but it was because he was continually, even all the way up until what was that, like 2 years ago? Even at that time, he was still messing with underage. Still
And lying.
Still. It's proven that he was still. So he needed to stay in jail, go up under the jail after that. He need to stay where he at. Yes, he is talented, but the Bible says what? Gifts come without repentance.
Girl,
And
Carolyn,
so therefore,
you are absolutely right,
you know
Carolyn.
what? He sure don't.
But see,
But his people, hey, he want to be something he ain't, but his people's put him away. You hear what I'm trying to tell you?
yeah. The thing about it is that's the ones that you always falling for. I mean, that's the ones that's bringing you down. OJ was the GOAT on the football field. OJ is no longer the GOAT.
Comedian Jabron, shut your mouth.
And he didn't get away with it because he lost everything he had. You can't get away with it when you lost everything. OJ lost everything he had, so he did not get away with nothing because he ended up with zero. How about that? Now, little brother, because he didn't get away with it. He just, I mean, it's a wrap. He's done. Bill Cosby is probably done, and so is R. Kelly. He's done.
He's definitely definitely done. And even if you go back with R. Kelly and listen to some of his music, like his early music, like it's crazy.
Yep, exactly,
He's
Carolyn.
very talented.
But the whole thing about it is, normally that's what we do. We save them, and they have a tendency to go a different route after we save them. Right. So you lose everything. We save you, and you still want to go the opposite direction. Make it make sense. Somebody.
It don't. Nobody can because it doesn't. It's insane. Yes, he is a pedophile.
A molester and a monster. He's a molester and a monster. But you know, then they talk about the R. Kelly issue. They talk about the fact that he pedophile. Yeah, but they were saying that he has a learning disability, but he never could read, and he never could understand the writing, but he could always make music, but somebody else wrote it for him or put it down on paper for him, but he just made the music. He sung the music. He spoke the lyrics and then put it into a song, but somebody else wrote it for him. Okay, here nor there. You know right from wrong.
You know how to have sex, don't you? You know if it's a child, don't you? And my thing is, hurt people. So what was done to him? He was walking around doing the same thing to young girls, to young underage children.
And that's normally the reason why people do sexual acts the way they do them. Now, I'm not saying Bill Cosby did that, and I'm not saying OJ didn't rape nobody, but he just got caught up in a bad situation. Normally what happens to you at a younger age, you have a tendency to act it out as you get older, or at some point throughout your life or whatever. It comes back out again. And you have a tendency to do it to or with somebody else. But the thing about it is, it's called therapy. You know, everybody
needs some counseling, needs some help.
You know, people need to go to therapy and get the help that you desperately need, especially after you have been sexually molested or preyed upon, inappropriately.
In any fashion. Yeah,
because you need that kind of help. You need that kind of assistance, because it all goes back to mental health. You're absolutely right, brother. It all goes back to mental health. The fact of the matter is that if something happens to you, you got to have help. But mentally, I was just talking about this on Tuesday with a group of people. It mentally is there, and you may not know how to address it. You may
Right.
not know how to tackle it, but if you got people in your corner that's gonna help you and push you in that right direction, you just may get the
Makes
help
a
that you
difference.
need.
It makes a difference. Yeah.
But then
The
you gotta want
accountability
it too.
piece.
You gotta
Yep.
want it though. You gotta
That's
want the
true.
help. You know, you gotta want somebody to provide that and give it to you. If you don't want help and if you don't want change, then you're still stuck in a rut. You're stuck in the same
Yep.
place that you were stuck in before. And I think until R. Kelly realizes that he was wrong and what he did and his actions were not right, I don't think he will ever be able to just say, forgive me and I yes, I did it, but he don't, because he don't want to take ownership. He don't want to take
Exactly.
ownership. One of those that don't want to
Exactly.
take ownership.
But at the end, they say at the end of the day, is that the word says that every knee shall bow and every tongue confess. So guess what? God will give us all a chance.
But kudos to Bill Cosby. And
Yep.
we're praying for the people in Miami that
Yes, definitely.
the condos and the apartment building or whatever that was crashed and fell. Airbnb. Praying for all of those families, the lives that were lost in Miami. I want to send a
Terrible.
special prayer out to them. So because things happen and we never know what may happen, but live life to the fullest. I pray he gets the help too, and I hope
Yes, it would. Yes,
his
it would.
testimony. That's the thing about it. He has a testimony, but is he willing to tell it? Is he
That's
willing to
right.
share his testimony? Because he hasn't shared it thus far. You got to know now in order for you to even realize it, for you to testify about it, because he probably don't even know. God bless his heart. God bless him. But we're
Woo!
gonna send a shout out. We're gonna
That was
send
heavy.
hey, that was heavy. Because the God I know is a redeemer. Yes, he's a
Yes,
redeemer.
Lord.
He forgives those that ask for forgiveness, but you got to ask for it and you got to want it and you got to just believe in it. So anyway, kudos to all of
Next
that.
hot topic. We about to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about this right here. Let's talk about it. Hey, good people, this is what I want to know. This is one, before we got two more things. Hopefully we can get to them before we get up out of here. We got two more things. How can you make somebody your wife or husband? How can you do that? How can you make? Yes, Carolyn, he is. He's the author and the finisher of our faith. Trust and believe. Because we love the Lord around here. We love Jesus. How can you make somebody your wife or husband? Can somebody help me? On a lighter note, how can you make, actually, literally make? Okay, because I tell y'all, I like to read. Yes to the now, to the now.
You can't.
My brother say you can't. My thing is, this is what I read. I read this and it's true. It's a true story. This is the female. She bought him a car. She let him live with her. She found him a job. She fed him. She made sure the house was clean. She gave him a child, and they ended up getting married. So with her doing all of those things,
wow,
is that now she did all of that for him. Met him, brought him into her home, let him stay, gave him a place to sleep, shelter over his head, put food in his mouth because she cooked. Let him find a job because she helped him do that. Bought him a car because he needed one. Gave him a baby, and then they ended up being married. Is that how she made her husband?
She gave a lot, baby. She gave a lot. You hear me? I want to know on the reciprocating end, where he is.
But the question is,
that's like that movie. What is it, 365 or something? I've never seen it, but some people was talking about it. Like, he did all of this stuff to try to make this girl love him or fall in love with him. Craziness.
Look, we don't know where she at. We ain't trying to find her, but
I
she
ain't buying. I
made
ain't buying no
herself.
love. I ain't buying no man. I ain't buying no love.
She made herself a husband.
Listen,
Made herself a husband. With doing all of that, she made herself a husband. How can you make somebody be your husband or wife? Does it take,
only way I know is arranged marriages. That's the only way I know.
my thing too is, does it take that? Does it take pretty much you buying an individual? Pretty much, if you're doing all of that for them, you're paying the bills, you're giving them a place to stay, you're feeding
It
them.
shouldn't. It shouldn't, but for her, I guess it does.
I mean, how does that don't matter what you do if you're not a man?
If you're not in a man's heart, it won't last. That's true.
Well, no, these days, Carolyn said no. Well, Carolyn, the unfortunate piece is that's what these young women and young girls are doing for these men, is that they are allowing them to come in. They are allowing them to stay with them. They are giving them a place to stay, giving them food. They're allowing them to drive their car, and then they're having their babies. But then at the end of the day, is that a good way to find or make your mate?
No, it sounds like an arrangement to me.
Is that a good way to find or make your mate? Because that's what a lot of times, I mean, it does happen. It happens that way. So how do you make somebody be your husband or wife? So this person, she said she found a way to make him become her husband by giving him somewhere to sleep, putting food in his mouth, buying him a car, and helping him find a job, and then having him his baby. And now he is her husband. So the question is now, what's next?
Right.
I mean, what do you have to look forward to now?
Right.
So if you did all of that, Carolyn says it's hard if he is a user and you have no self-esteem. And that's good. I mean, you're right. That's a good statement. I mean, that's a good observation. If you don't have you got a low self-esteem, you do all of this because you can afford to do that, or you can help him do that, or you can make sure. I couldn't do that. I'm sorry.
That's a lot.
I mean, I can't do that. I'm sorry. That's just me. I came from a different cloth, came from a different cut. My thing is, if I gotta make you be my husband, because I'm making you be my man, first of all. So how am I gonna make you be my husband?
Yeah, I don't like that. It's just not authentic, It's not authentic. And then what happens where she can't give gifts anymore? Then what? Then is he out? Like, I'm out. You can't,
Right.
you can't keep up. Like, that's insane.
So who's the provider? Now it becomes the question is, who is actually the provider of the home, of the house? If the man is supposed to be the head of the household, and if she's done all of these things for him, then who's actually head of the household?
Right. The order is off. The order is wrong. The order is off. The order is wrong, and so it's not going to last.
Who's the wolf? And the sheep, guiding them and doing this, that, and the other. I mean, so it's like
she the head honcho.
Right. She must be. She got to be. So I'm just I'm totally confused about all of that. But they are married. They are together. They are still married to this day. And all of that took place. All of that took place. She met him. He moved in. She fed him. She found him a job. She got him a car. She had a baby, and now they are married. All those things took place, and she did every last one of them. She made him her husband.
She sounds like an entrepreneur to me. She making it happen like that, She got a talent. That's a gift. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe she needs to be a teacher and give classes and teach women
she sound like the real life Hitched. You know what I'm saying?
She realized something. She can teach women how to get a husband. Because
Listen,
for those that are looking to get one,
she can
and
do
she can teach
conferences.
them.
Girl, do a conference, okay?
She need to do something. A whole full-fledged conference. She not making him be anything.
That's
She just
true. I
buying his
agree,
affection.
Carolyn.
That
Yep.
ain't all she buying, Carolyn. She buying a whole lot of stuff. Because
Listen.
if she did all of that and some, she just she buying everything. I mean, everything you name it, she's buying it. You know, it's one thing to share. It's one thing to appreciate what somebody does for you or you do for them, but to flat right out do everything to make him or to make her become your mate or to
Yes,
force them to become your mate, to question them and to keep pressuring them to become your mate, then at the end of the day, you best believe it probably ain't gonna last long. Not unless you're gonna keep living that kind of life where you consistently doing, you're the one that's giving, and you know, they're taking and you're giving, you know, but you know, my y'all know my motto.
That's one-sided. That's one-sided. That's
It's
one-sided.
one-sided. It's a whole one side of the fair. It's a whole one side of the fair. I don't know, but right now I do know they are together, and yes, they are married. You said it. It's a business move on. Yeah, it's a business move on her part. But then, what is he actually doing for her other than to be on her
Other than
shoulder?
her to be able to say, "I have a
I got a
man."
husband.
That's like being a trophy. He's a trophy man, basically.
I got a husband. So something that you can just say, "Oh, I'm married now."
I got a man.
I's married now. I mean, come on. Is that what you need or desire? But it's false. It's not real because you didn't pursue each other. It's kind of like you pursued him alone. What did he do for you? That's a true story, people. In case you all didn't know, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real. It really happened,
It's
and
real.
they are still married.
And
But
it's real crazy.
yeah, and she was the one that led the pack and all of it. You know, she did all of those things that I just mentioned. So kudos to them, and let's
Yes.
keep our hands together that they survive.
That it works. It
You
works.
know,
It balance
that
balance
keeps
it out.
going.
Balance it out, Lord.
Because now you got a kid in it. You know, now you have a child involved. So even if you didn't have a child involved, you got children from previous relationships. It's different. It's just different. It's different.
It is.
I hope it works.
It is because now what are you teaching now? What are you, if you have a male child, what are you teaching your son? Like,
right.
You know, to be pursued by women. I mean, it's confusing. It's role reversal.
You're pretty much forcing somebody to be your better half or be your husband or be your wife.
You're pretty much buying a person, basically.
Well, you really are. You really are buying.
You ain't renting them. You're not renting them. You done bought them.
Because at the end of the day, if I ain't ready and I consistently tell you I'm not ready, or the conversation never comes up that we should do this or we should take the next step or we should move to the next level, or what do you think about? If I'm not talking about marriage and being all this, that, and the other, then if I'm not talking about it, then why are you going to try to make me
press it, right?
And you're forcing me and you're telling me, well, if you don't do this by a certain date, if you don't marry me, if you don't ask me to marry you, or we ain't married by the end of the year, if I'm not, and you know, what is that?
That's horrible.
If you're not doing it from the bottom of your heart, why do it? So before we get off, we got 6 minutes. One more topic. One more.
Oh Lord, we might have to, since we might have to say this one for next time because it's too juicy. You know, we're gonna get all kind of chime ins on this one.
Well, this one right here. This one right here. There's a couple of other ones. You know, sex is always a huge thing with people. You know, sex is big in marriages, relationships, whatever it is. Sex is big.
Situationship, all that.
Yeah. Sex ships, sexual ships. I don't know what you want to call it. Okay, so you got friends or you got a couple, married, not married, engaged, boyfriend, girlfriend, sister, brother coming to your house with they maid or whatever. How do you feel about them having sex in your house? Now, time out.
Woo.
Not only are they having sex in your house, but you
They
hear
loud.
them.
They loud. They
You
loud
hear
out
them.
here. They are like they at home.
How do you feel about that? Is it okay? Would you say something to them the next day? Because they there to stay with you for the weekend. Let's just say they come to visit for the weekend. They here for a couple of days. How do you feel about them
Yes,
having
Ashley.
sex in your... What's up, Ashley? Thanks for tuning in. Ashley
Yes,
say, hell to
thanks
the
for
no,
me.
no.
Yes, hell no.
Do you have a problem with
That's
people having visitors? Let's say that, visitors, because that's what they are.
right.
How do you feel about visitors having sex in your house? Not only having sex, but then they loud about it.
Nah, it's a no go. So first of all, everybody human. I'm pretty sure that folks that spent the night at folks' house and they done did it. But my thing is, don't let me know that it's happening. I don't want to know. That's your business. Cause I'm gonna sanitize the room after the fact. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I don't want to know. And if you is loud, if you happen to be loud, I'm gonna come in there and I'm banging on the door. I'm interrupting you, okay? Cause you rude. That's rude. And then, especially if I got my kids at home, like you done lost your mind. So absolutely not. If you getting it in, don't let me know that you're getting it in. I don't want to hear you. I don't want to think I heard you. None of that.
But it's
And
okay.
You can't tell grown people what they can and cannot do.
Right. You cannot.
I mean, I would prefer them to not, but I can't, if you feeling that kind of way and that's what it is, but don't let me know that it's to happen. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to think I seen it. I don't want to think I heard it. None of that.
But it's okay. If they have sex in your house and you don't hear it, it's okay.
If I don't know nothing about it.
Cause you and I know
I can't critique something I don't know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? I can't be like, oh, what's this on my sheet? If I don't know nothing about it, because I'm not, like I said, I'm gonna sanitize my room down, my guest bedroom down, top to bottom. Anyway, I don't care if you one person come by yourself or y'all a married couple of y'all come. I'm sanitizing my room top to bottom. I don't want to know if that's what you're doing. Married people go do what married people do. That's fine.
couples gonna do that.
I don't want to know
that. You don't have to be married. You don't have to be married, but people are going to do that even if they're not married. What's going on, Tracy?
Hey, Tracy. Hey, Tracy, we all have. It's okay. We're glad to have you back.
Girl, yes, we all been going through life, honey. That's what happens. It's because it's called life.
Exactly.
Called life. You got to go through it, good, bad, or ugly.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. We glad you tuned in. We know you ain't gone nowhere, girl. We know that. We know you got things going on.
That's right.
But I'm sure, let me say this. I'm sure that I've had people to come visit me, people to come stay with me, to do that in my house. I'm sure. But have I heard them? No. Even
am I gonna say, hey, if you come to my house, I don't care if I have sex? No, I'm not gonna say no. We don't have a conversation about it. I don't want to know nothing about it.
I'm not going to, yeah. And my thing is, I'm not going to, I'm like you, I'm not going to tell them they can't do it. I mean, because that's not something that comes up. Hey, you come to my house, I know you're going to have sex, but just don't let me hear you.
Who does that?
Who does that? I'm like, really? This is my thing. You better hold her mouth or you better hold his mouth. Because you got to figure out.
If you know you loud like that, y'all need to be doing nothing.
Who's the screamer? Who's the one that makes the most noise in the relationship? Or as husband or wife or whatever, you better recognize, put a sock in your mouth and hold it.
Y'all better take a drive around to the corner and get old school in the park or somewhere. Don't,
Don't,
if you know you
don't
like
be
that.
In my basement. Having sex and the noise rises. And I'm like, hold on, what is that I'm hearing?
Right. Nuh-uh.
Because if I don't hear my neighbors,
I don't want to hear a full blown porno coming out of the guest room. I don't want to hear it.
So we're not saying, and I'm like you, sis, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not saying not to do it, because you and I know this is what people do. They have sex in other places. So I had sex in Texas. Oh, I had sex in Massachusetts. You know,
Right.
but it's at your people's house.
Right. I don't want to know. I do not want to know.
If you ain't loud, I'm like you. I'm going to clean my room anyway. So the question was for all you latecomers. You got people visiting your house for the weekend and they having sex, but they loud with it.
They real loud.
Is it okay? What you gonna say?
Right. What you gonna do? What you gonna say?
Is it a problem?
I'm breaking all that up, honey. I'm breaking that up.
We
Tracy
know.
being weak.
Tracy weak. And she said, "Oh, I'm gonna be angry about it, cause y'all ain't gonna be having no sex in my house." It was like, no, don't be sorry about
you
it.
ain't gotta be sorry. That's your house, honey.
Exactly. You put a stop to that. You know,
Okay.
my thing is, because we know it happens. We all know it happens.
It does.
You know, you leave them stains on them sheets because they ain't washing them. We're not washing them. So if somebody decides, you have to have that discussion with your people.
Yeah.
Carol said,
you better come with your little towel, cause Yeah,
Carol
it's definitely
no.
not.
Carol said, no, it's not okay. It's not okay. All that noise you making in there, that ain't okay. And Tracy said, no, she is not gone happy. And then
that is just
Tracy,
so rude. That is the rudest thing
making
ever.
them do laundry. Girl, and you don't have to apologize for being late. We know you got things going on, but we talked about Bill Cosby earlier. We're glad that he's out. We're glad
Rightfully
that
so, as he should be. Yes.
Because it's that time of day right now. We're glad that Bill Cosby is out. We also talked about the fact that how do you make a wife or a husband, because a female actually made somebody become her husband by giving him a place to stay. She fed him because she cooked for him every day. She bought him a car so he can go back and forth to the job that she found for him. And she had his baby and they got married. So how can you make a husband or a wife? And then, of course, we talked about the fact that is it okay to have sex in someone's house if and you've been loud, you know?
And
so
loud.
It's like, you know, you're extremely loud. So those are three things that we talked about tonight. We discussed. Of course, we all have issues at some point and another in our lives because we're not perfect. So it's how do we overcome those issues? You know, what do we do to overcome the issues that we face on a daily basis, that we wake up to every day, with the help and support of friends? Some of us have to go to therapy.
And counseling. Yep.
You know, and unfortunately, some have to take medication, but you got to do what you need to do for you.
That's right.
Because at the end of the day, it's not about anybody else. It's not about trying to make somebody else happy or satisfy somebody else. It's all about you.
That's right.
It's all about Bill Cosby. It's really all about the female that forced the man to become her husband, but she don't know it. And it's still all about you because the people are in your house having sex.
Loud with
it. So it's all about you, and it's what you want to do with yourself. It's what you want to do with life, and it's how you want to overcome the things that you are going through on a consistently and a daily basis. That's so right. You figure it out, but don't try to do it by yourself because you always have help. You always got friends. You always got a support system. And we here at Tuck Radio, we are a full support system. What you need, we can find somebody for you to help you. Trust me when I tell you, whatever you need, we got somebody that can help you with it. So
we offer amazing resources, of course. Yes. Yeah. It's Wind Down Wednesday. Y'all know how we do it, what we do. We always say, thank you so much for tuning in. Globally, we're known. So we're just so grateful for that. If you got a comment or question, a subject you want to talk about, definitely go to Tuck Radio. You can message us, or my Facebook page is Chanice Gibson Arnold. Or I'm the same on Instagram, Miss Nisi24. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you got quotes or comments, please don't hesitate. We will present it. We don't have to say whose question it came from, but we will talk about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tracy going in. Tracy said I stay in a hotel when I leave out of town for that reason.
Let me tell you something. I was in when I went to Chicago, stayed in a really nice hotel because I believe in staying in nice
Personal space. Listen.
Hey, we miss you, Ashley.
Ashley.
But thanks for tuning in. We love you. So I was in Chicago this weekend, and like I said, I believe in staying in nice places. I don't like staying in places that I don't know what it's gonna look like, or I ain't never been there, or a foreign name. But I stayed in Chicago in a place that it was a different name, but it was affiliation of other hotels and other chains. So took a chance and stayed in there because it looked nice from the outside. It was practically brand new, fairly brand new. They just built it because it wasn't there the last time I was there.
Right.
So we stayed in there and woke up Sunday morning. This ain't my house. This ain't my house. I'm in a hotel. I hear you, Tracy, when you say you go to a hotel. But when you in a hotel, I don't need to hear you in my room because we got joined the doors or through the wall. I don't need to hear you, Tracy. I don't need to hear you at a hotel. I just don't.
That's terrible.
On a Sunday morning, I'm hearing it through the walls. I'm like,
rise and shine, huh?
I thought it was my friend's phone, because they was in the bathroom. I thought it was their phone because they was playing something, a video. I was like, was that your phone? It was like, what are you talking about? All that noise that was going on. They in the room next door, and I'm just.
They cutting up.
She making the noise. I was like, I wanted to do like you, sis. Go knock on the door.
Cut that out.
And say, listen, first of all, I don't get up this early normally when I'm off on the weekend. I don't. And I'm not trying to hear you through the walls of a hotel room that I'm sleeping in. So I cannot imagine. Yes,
I ain't trying to hear him. I ain't trying to hear him in your walls, through the walls. Okay? I don't know. It's a no-go.
We're not about to have no popcorn. I'm not about to have popcorn. I'm not about to get Eric's popcorn and listen to that noise. I'm not. It's not that.
So this is what you got to do when you go to hotels, because I mean hotels is wonderful because especially if you want your own privacy, you might like to sleep a certain way with clothes on, without clothes on, with the top covered, the bottom open, the bottom covered, the top. You get my drift.
Anything.
Whatever. However. So earbud. Get you some earbud. Stick them in there before you go to sleep.
I almost called you a name. I'm not sleeping with no earbuds. And I'm not about to turn the music on and
guess what? Well, guess what? You go hear him in her walls through the wall then.
I'm like, what the? I was like, what in the world? I said, what you playing on that radio in there? That phone? What's up? I'm not playing anything on it. You got to be. I'm hearing noise coming from that direction.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
I had a friend, a close friend of mine, to tell me they were in a hotel and the manager had to come up and actually knock on the door.
Oh my gosh.
Because they were that loud.
That's embarrassing.
So you mean to tell me if you sex and you having sex and you're sexually engaged in each other, that you can't be quiet?
You need to keep that at home then. You don't need to do no when you go out of town because you can't control yourself.
Or you better do it before you leave that morning.
I don't know. That's probably what they were doing. That's why you got woke up.
or unless you want to say, I did it in that state. Oh yeah, I was there. I had sex over there. I had sex in Colorado. Don't nobody care nothing about all that.
Mm-mm-mm.
When the manager got to come and knock on your door,
Yeah, that's embarrassing. That's pretty embarrassing.
which means that somebody had to call them.
Yep, because you was getting on their nerves.
And maybe they were old and they, couldn't get it up or can't do it, or, I don't know. I was baffled. Knocked on the door and said, "You was too loud."
Mm-mm-mm. Wow.
That's some interruption for you right there. Yes, Tracy.
Very, very
embarrassing.
embarrassing.
That's very embarrassing.
Yeah.
So at
To
the
say
end
the
of the day,
least.
you better find a sock. I ain't saying put a pillow over their head to smother them. You better put a fork in it.
They put that Viagra to work.
Somebody put something to work. That's I don't know. But what they didn't put a muzzle on it. They did not put a muzzle on it.
Oh God, they let the free flag fly, baby.
Freaks come out at night
for all to hear. Okay,
for all to hear. It's like, I get it. We all understand when it's good. When the dang-a-lang is good, we have a tendency to let them know. But I ain't about to try to let you know the dang-a-lang good by hollering and carrying on. Because my business ain't everybody's business.
Ooh, man. That's something else.
I'm just saying. So when people come to your house, you might want to give them that disclosure when they walk through the door. Or put it in the room on the table somewhere on the bed like that hotel.
I think depending on who you are, folk know. I mean, I don't even carry myself in a certain manner where you think something like that. I want to know something like that is popping. So
well, you don't have to carry yourself in that kind of manner. They do that themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I mean, people do that, and I know they do that. When you go out of town, you have a tendency, for some unknown reason, it's a big
to amp it up.
Yeah. You feel some kind of way because you're in a different area, you're in a foreign location, so you feel the need to have sex there or to have whatever relations. But in the midst of those relations, I don't need you making noise in my house.
I don't. Yeah, that's so.
And I'm not rude. Telling you can't, but I don't need you making noise in my house.
I don't want to know nothing about it.
I don't want to know anything about it.
I don't want to think I heard something. None of that.
Once again, I don't hear my neighbors, and I live in a condo. I don't hear them at all, period. There's nothing I hear from them. So can you imagine if somebody is visiting me and you're coming and you are sexually active and I got to hear it? I'm by, like you said, somebody like, hey, I need y'all to be quiet down, or get your little nut or whatever. Come on and come.
Y'all got to take that somewhere else, because now you don't piss me off, because now I got to explain to my kid what, you know what I'm saying, why you was hollering and making all this noise. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh snap! Tracy said they had sex on the 44.
Hey, watch out now. I hope it was on the balcony for everybody to see.
You already know, so everybody can see up on the 40th floor in the balcony. Because
if we up 40 stories and you saw it, that means you was looking for it. Okay?
Open up the sliding glass doors and let the people have it. Just give it to them. Just let the people have it.
Okay.
I hope you made it memorable for everybody.
She said, not me.
Well, you get better next time. You make it memorable for everybody. That's all.
Hey, them people ain't gonna never see you again, so who cares?
Yeah, they ain't gonna know who you are from Jack Adam. But respect. It's called respect. Everything you do, you should do things out of respect.
That's true.
But at the end of the day, respect. Live life to the fullest, but be respectful about it, Just give it respect. Just you scared to fly to LA.
Why?
You was in Dubai on the 40th floor, and you scared to fly to LA?
Girl,
You went to Dubai, you can go to LA. Period.
For sure.
Matter of fact, go to Vegas
It's still on the map.
and,
It's still on the
yeah,
map.
and
Right.
just let it all hang out in Vegas. So what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's what they say.
There you go.
So go to Vegas. Anyway, we thank you for watching and thank you for tuning in. So next
Definitely.
month, I got a phone call next month. I'm telling you all, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna be on location next month
Okay. Look forward.
because there's a series that someone want us to do. The myths. They want us to do the myths. Tracy said that was a joke. We get it.
Oh, got you.
But we still telling you to go to Vegas because what happens
Yes.
in Vegas stays in
Go
Vegas.
to Vegas, go to LA. Don't be scared to fly. It's a great experience.
I'm sure if you had sex in Dubai, you can have it anywhere else. You're scared to fly, but you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Just take a pill that Bill Cosby gave to them women, and you'll be okay.
When you wake up, you'll be there.
You'll
Just take
be
a couple
fine.
Quaaludes. When you wake up,
You'll be right there. You'll be there, and be no question about it. Your husband won't tell you nothing that happened. So we've been asked to do a series on the myths of bartending.
Yes.
So we're gonna do the fact that the security piece and all of that when it comes to being a bartender, a barmaid, and the security aspects of being a security personnel at a bar. So somebody asked me that. There's definitely myths about being a barmaid or being a bartender, especially
For sure.
women.
Oh, yes.
So we want to talk about that. And we're going to be on location. I don't know if we're going to be at different bars, but if we are at different bars, we would definitely put it up there. So some of you that's out there, maybe you come visit us and you can sit in and take discussion with this round table that we're going to have with a couple of barmaids that are women. And they're going to talk about the myths of it. And then we're going to talk about the security piece. And we're going to talk about all locations, you know, and how you feel about going to different bars around here in the city of Cincinnati or anywhere you go. I went to Atlanta and there was a place in Atlanta. It was really, really nice. I'm ready to go back. It was upscale and it was nice. So,
let's do it.
You know, but yeah, I know, right? Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it again. Yeah, let's do it again. Right. And I'm ready. Let's do it again.
I'm beyond ready.
Yes. So we know what to do and how to do it. So be on the lookout for that. And we're going to be on location. We're going to talk about the myths of being bartenders, barmaids as women. Women, there is a difference. Women bartenders, there is a difference. You know, a huge difference. And not only that, a difference between black and white. So black and white barmaids, black and white bartenders. We're going to bring that to you. And we're going to make sure that you all have an understanding of what it is to be a female bartender. So stay tuned. That's for the whole month of July. We're going to try to make sure that we do what we got to do for the whole month of July to disclose and eliminate and get away from the myths of being a black female bartender. How about that?
Right.
So we're going to bring that to you. Y'all know we at the end of that piece where we got to let you know what we know and how to know it. Did that make sense? Probably not, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know it's time for our positive quote. So mine is, God is love.
Somebody in the back need to say amen.
Amen now. Amen now.
Amen now. Because God is love. To all the deacons, missionary, saints, and friends. God is love. And y'all know what I say. You know, be careful and be good to yourself if you're not good to anybody else. Because self-love is the love that you need when you can't get it nowhere else. Oh, wait a minute. I said that sounded so good. I need to say that again.
Go ahead, run it back.
Self-love is really all the love that you need when you can't get it nowhere else, because that's the most important piece. Is how do you feel about yourself? How do you love yourself? In order for you to love yourself, it's going to allow you to love somebody else. So at the end of the day, if that ain't some real talk. At the end of the day, y'all know me. It's always better to give than it is to receive. So we'll see you next week. Be on the lookout for that now. We coming to you. We live and in living color on scene somewhere. Holla at your girls. We love you. See you next week.
Bye.